SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Are you a business owner looking for help with HR benefits and payroll? MWG Employer Services offers a wide range of services and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget.
I was so overwhelmed with HR stuff. MWG Employer Services took all the stress out of it and even set up my payroll. I couldn't be happier. MWG
Employer Services is here to help you succeed. Call us today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
It wasn't yet false fall. That has not happened yet. But this morning, about 6 a.m., walked out on the front porch, and the thunderstorm had rolled through last night. It was 71 degrees.
Way too early for false fall.
And the breeze was blowing, and I was like, no, I'm not going to fall for even false fall.
That's just a weird, cool summer day. That's not even, it's just an outlier.
But I did not fall for the fake false fall. So the false fall. But man, did it feel like football this morning. I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad. And we are full steam ahead to football season. The United States embarrassed themselves last night. There's a difference between losing and losing because you did stupid things. And that's what they did last night. A very frustrating end and a blown opportunity. We'll talk about that a little bit. We also have Chef Talk Mississippi coming up as part of our summer partnership with Visit Jackson. And then we've got an interesting team. For the first time, we're going to the SEC for the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. Big 12 Media Days got kicked off today. And they sold the jerseys and the conference. I mean, all of the jerseys, every sport, every team, and the conference itself has the same sponsor. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more with you on this Tuesday. Glad you guys are with us.
We're going to do that here in the Pearl River Resort Studios. PearlRiverResort.com. Book your stay now. No false falls yet at Pearl River Resort, but beautiful summer days to go out and play golf or head to Geyser Falls with the family, or if you want to stay inside and just relax and see some great live entertainment and eat some awesome food, you can do all of that too. Pearl River Resort, PearlRiverResort.com. C-Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. Tax-free weekend is coming up July 10th through 12th, and it's even better at C-Spire. Get the best deals and skip the taxes on any new phone. It's the perfect time to switch or upgrade your device or save even more while you're at it. Plus, you definitely need to check out the latest deals at C-Spire before they're gone, like a free iPhone 17 Pro Max or a free Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra with trade-in. Shop now at cspire.com or visit your local C-Spire store today. C-Spire, they changed the tag. They took away my little thing. Customer inspired. C-Spire, they need you to bring back the thing because I was having fun with that. We had a little bit going, and now we don't have it.
After the Fiesta Bowl, I'm going to take you back to college football season. After the Fiesta Bowl, we came on air the next day, and the general sentiment among Ole Miss fans, now there were some that were upset about the no-call pass interference, but generally speaking, remember the mood, especially out of me, on the show the next day was, you just got beat by a better team. Miami was better than Ole Miss in that game. They are elite on the lines of scrimmage. Ole Miss didn't play bad. They just got beat. And great run, great season.
Correct.
It just came to an end because you got beat.
Right.
You cannot say the same about what happened last night. And that is the most frustrating part of what happened. Like, I'm crushed. It's a shame that over 36 million people watched last night to see a team that had been the aggressors, that had been so sharp and creative with their passing, that had been fun and electric, fold under the bright lights. Now, Belgium's really good. They have good players. That is a good team. But when you lose because you do stupid things, or when you lose because you can't execute just basic routine passes, and your star player doesn't show up and then he gets hurt again. 3 out of his 7 World Cup games he's played in, he's had to leave early due to injury. He didn't show up. That's just the frustrating end to this. That was not the United States at their best last night. I don't know what happened, like where the confidence went. Maybe they still lose, but losing in that manner, it's just so frustrating. What a blown opportunity for those guys last night to play much better than they did.
I've never seen, I can't remember, I guess I shouldn't say I never, but I can't remember a sporting event where the team had such a vibe switch in a 24-hour, 48-hour period, right? They went from being this team that everybody was kind of cheering for, even outside of its country.
Yeah.
And I told you yesterday, I was like, it is going to be us against the world. And I don't know if that affected them or not, but under the pressure, they completely crumpled. I remember about 8 minutes in, I was in my group text, and I just said, we are getting dominated. Mm-hmm. And it could have been a lot worse. I texted you at the half. I was like, this should be 4-1.
Could have been.
Like, it should have been 4-1. And I think, if Onana doesn't get hurt, he was bossing the midfield. He was contesting everything. He ends up tearing it. Poor guy tore his ACL. He's out for a while.
You knew right away the second.
He's like, that's what that is. We've been watching enough college football to know I could spot an ACL tear at 1,000 yards.
We might as well be orthopedic surgeons at this point.
I could at least be an orthopedic, analyst. That's
a diagnostic.
Yeah, exactly. This was the analogy. If you were watching the game and you're trying to, or even if you didn't watch, you're just trying to understand something. Imagine if Ole Miss was playing, and it doesn't matter who the team is, right? The next week, though, they're playing Alabama, or they're playing Texas, or whoever, okay? And so they don't start Cam Franklin and Will Eccles, and they don't even play Sunter and Perkins.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about that team that they're playing? Mm-hmm. That Belgium was already looking at Spain. They didn't start Lukaku, they didn't start Doku, and they didn't even play De Bruyne.
And he would have been ready had they needed him.
If they had needed him, but they knew that they didn't need him. And they also ran it up on us. That last goal, that was complete and utter, we're running this up on you. They did the Trump dance.
Hey, I don't blame them for that.
I don't blame them. They did the Trump dance. They rubbed it in our face. Nothing we can do about it. You don't like it. You know what the option is. And then, I know Ole Miss fans get tired of seeing Bryce Drew every year, every March. U.S. men's national team fans, every 4 years you're going to see that goal. You're going to see that. The British would call that a howler, is what that is. That was one. I nearly came off the couch. I was like, what are you doing? I could not believe what I was seeing.
And talked about him going into it. That was the opportunity for Matt Faris to solidify his standing in goal through the next cycle, and opportunity ended. Gone.
I told you on yesterday's show, I said, I'm a little concerned that this Belgium team beat us 5-2 or whatever it was in that friendly. They may just be that much better than us. It was 4-1. They could have had 6 or 7, and on top, that's dead. And on top of that, our goal scored on a deflection. Like, I think Courtois has the beat on that ball. And then it gets deflected.
But that
and
happens.
It goes
It does happen.
It does happen. But
it's
a little fluky.
But you can also do on the flip side. The third goal's fluky.
It is. Well, the third goal's fluky because we made
If Tim Ream doesn't pick his leg up, the ball just hits his leg and stays in front of him. Like
awful. Like the one side is like, yes, that's a break of the game. You get a deflection sometimes, and the ball goes the other way from where your keeper is leaning. Happens. The other one is completely on us.
So stupid.
We screwed up in three different places to have that goal doesn't happen unless 3 different people screw up.
Yeah. And what's so frustrating about that is to the first 15 minutes of the second half, we looked like us again.
Mm-hmm. We were playing a little better, yeah.
Confident, with pace, being the aggressors, and then you give up that stupid goal, and that was ball game right there. I mean, you had no shot. I mean, Serginho, and I mean, that's a guy, I mean, he was a Barcelona guy. Like, that is, he had to get taken off at halftime. He was so bad. The first goal, everybody blames Tim Ream for the first goal. Hey, Dad, how often do you see a player in their own box just let a ball just in the air, drop right in front of them, and not make a move?
That is 101 right there. Don't let the ball bounce in your penalty box. That's how goals happen. And 3 guys watched that ball hit the ground.
Just unbelievable.
Incredibly frustrating.
And so now, at least somebody asked me last night, well, what's the path forward? Well, the frustrating part is the lights look too bright for guys that are too experienced. I mean, Pulisic folded. Cowherd had a really good rant about him today. It's time for Pulisic to get scrutiny. If he wants to be a star, and he is, then he needs to be treated like a star and play like one. Clint Dempsey doesn't pull himself out of that game last night.
No.
So he needs to be tougher.
When they called the foul there, I was just like, what happened? And then watch the replay, and you see the guy doesn't even touch him. I'm just like, come on. It's almost like he took a dive.
But those guys are too experienced to have folded the way they did. The lights were too bright for them. That was part of last night. Luckily, the players that you want to stick around are going to be still young enough for the next cycle. And the challenge now for Pochettino or whoever it is, need a new goalkeeper. Luckily, there's a 20-year-old that spent 4 years in the Barcelona camp. I forget where he is now, that they're obsessed with. Call him up now. Call him up now. Find Tim Ream's replacement and get somebody to challenge Dest, and you're okay. But that was embarrassing. Unacceptable of a performance last night. There's losing, and then there's losing stupid. And they lost stupid. It's a shame. We'll be right back from the Pearl River Resort studio.
Sports Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Randy in Starkville said, for what it's worth, they look tired. And, hey, I was actually watching the game last night with a friend of mine that worked a long time for the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Yeah.
I think he was their travel guy, is what he handled all their logistics and stuff. And that was the thing he said in the first 2 minutes of the game. He was like, those boys look tired. They look like they're worn out.
That's a problem. That's a problem in and of itself.
Yeah, it is. But I guess we'll... luckily, I suppose we'll put the soccer talk on hold because I'm devastated. I'm sad, and I am man enough to admit it because that sucked, and I don't know what else I'm going to do for the rest of the summer, but at least the Gold Cup is coming next year. But, hey, Dad, we get to do Chef Talk Mississippi here on this Tuesday.
Let's do it. Joining us now in Studio X on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Hope I'm saying it right. Rashana Newsom joins us now from the Manship House there in Jackson, another Jackson institution. And, Chef, I'm reading this article right now that you did. You said that you used to go out in the backyard and pretend to cook with your mom's pots and pans. You were good enough to wash those pots and pans before they got back in the house. That's smart kid right there.
Yeah, I actually used to sneak them back in. I had to check to make sure the coast was clear. And I only did it when she was at work.
Well, that's good. That's an interesting start to the culinary career. Where did you go from there?
Just over the years, I just paid attention to my mom cooking, my dad cooking, and I just watched cooking shows every day. Just watched cooking shows, and by the time I was 11, 12 years old, I was cooking full-course meals at home. I took over that duty because that's like all I wanted to do was just sit in the house and cook and watch cooking shows.
Got to know what the cooking shows were, though, because I've told some of the chefs we've had on, I'm a big Gordon Ramsay guy. I love him in the way he just Like, I would never like working for him because
he wishes he could talk to me like that.
I
say.
actually wanted an opportunity to work with him. Yeah.
Even though he would call you a donut.
I would fire right back at him.
So what were your go-to shows?
My number one show was Rachel Ray. Rachel Ray, I watched all of her shows, like every one of them. 30-Minute Meals was my go-to every day after school.
What about Emerald? Bang.
Emerald, you know what? Emerald came before Rachel Ray. Yeah. Emerald came before Rachel Ray, and I just kind of drifted away from Emerald, and then I got introduced to Rachel Ray, and from that point, I was just, that's what I would do every day after school, watch cooking shows and just visualize stuff that I'd want to cook. And as the years went by, it was just, I'm going to culinary school. I got to go to culinary school. After I graduated high school, I went straight to Chicago and started culinary school. I stayed there for about 3 years, and I moved back down here. And ever since I've been here, I've just been going nonstop. I started working at the Manship in 2013. So this year will make 13 years since I've been working at Manship.
So when I look at the menu for the Manship, it's the kind of restaurant that I like to go to. I like a restaurant that has a tight menu. I don't want to see just pages of pages. I don't want to see a place that has pizza and Chinese food and steak on the same menu. I like when it's just a few items. Is that the way you like to cook?
Yeah, it is. I don't like to overdo it. Keeping it simple is the best way to go. Because if you try to do too much, you'll end up just frustrated and I've been like that before. I do wine dinners with the sommelier at the restaurant, and my specialty is coming up with like this very nice menu, and sometimes I go above and beyond, and like I stress myself out. So I'm learning within myself to try to keep things simple and try to utilize as many ingredients instead of like just, continuously ordering new stuff and bringing it to the restaurant. I just try to utilize everything and just try to make each dish, incorporate all these ingredients into multiple dishes instead of just like, pretty much like that.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to cook as far as Mississippi dishes go?
Really, to be honest, I don't have a favorite dish. I'm pretty universal. I can pretty much execute anything that's asked. Like if somebody asks me, "Hey, can you do this cuisine?" I put myself to the test, and I make it work. I don't have a favorite dish. I don't know if that really answers your question or not, but
it's good enough.
And anything like if you ask me, "Hey, can you cook this?" and I'm like, "Yeah, I can cook it."
You've been around. I read about you earlier from Atlanta, which, hey, Dad, I guess it's your father that cooked at the Georgia Dome.
Mm-hmm, it was.
So does that mean you're a Falcons fan?
No.
Okay, good. All right. We're all good. We're all good. It's okay. It's okay. We can go on. We don't have to kick her out.
We were going to cancel this interview depending on the answer.
I was ready to hit mute and call it a day.
But time in Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago. I lived in Chicago twice. I lived in Chicago when I was a little girl, around 3 years old, and then I moved back here, and I moved there again. Like I said earlier, after I graduated from high school, I went to culinary school there, and I stayed there for about a good 3-4 years. That's when I kind of got my feet wet working in restaurants, because the culinary school that I attended, which was Washburn Culinary Institute, it was one of the first culinary schools to actually open in the United States and in Chicago. Wow. I got introduced to working in a restaurant because the school itself had 2 restaurants where we actually served outside customers. They understood that we were students, but they still pushed us to the limit to, hey, when you get out in the real world, this is what's going to happen. So that's where I kind of got started. And I moved back here, and I started applying those skills here in the restaurant, and I've pretty much been doing it since. And I'm still growing every day because you learn stuff every day in this field. And I mean, it's fun, you know?
Yeah. In different parts of this country, we have an incredibly diverse cultural country. I mean, you go to this region and there's this influence, and New Orleans has got this, New York has got that. When somebody says Mississippi cuisine, what is that, in your opinion?
In my opinion, Mississippi cuisine is like fresh and local. Like going to the farmer's market, getting ingredients, and just creating these nice southern dishes with locally sourced foods, you know. And I'm a food and veggie type of girl, so I look forward to going to the farmer's market and just creating like these dishes using peas, corn, okra, you know, all of those little fresh ingredients. So to me, that's kind of what Mississippi cuisine is.
What's something that they teach you at culinary school that the average home cook could take into their kitchen tonight and put into practice?
Using a knife, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of my biggest things I learned in culinary school, was using a knife and developing good knife skills, because that was something that we practiced on for about 2 months. And believe it or not, that's the most important thing in learning how to cook, because if you can't use a knife, then you won't be able to execute what you're trying to do. And also, like using a knife and executing, making good cuts on stuff, it helps with cooking time. It helps with presentation. So I think that's something that anybody like getting started out with should learn how to do. And also utilizing different equipment.
Yeah, hey, a little pro tip. I mean, I'm the expert over here. When you're cutting things like onions, you don't grab the onion like this. You bend your knuckles so the knife can never cut your finger. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know something.
I could have used that lesson about a month ago. I had to go to urgent care because I got hold of my thumb. Oh. Well, I was chopping an onion, no less. And
so my first week of culinary school had never chopped garlic in my life. When I was growing up, I always used the chopped garlic in the jar. I don't know.
The jarlic.
Jarlic, right, jarlic. So the teacher bought out cases and cases of peeled garlic, and he was like, this is the first lesson. I won't finely mince garlic. So I got this super sharp knife that they gave us in our kit, and I'm just like chopping. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. I hold a knife up, and I run my finger down the blade and slice my finger wide open. I didn't know how to use a knife that big. So that was the first lesson I learned. And my teacher said, hey, you can't do that. You have to, do this the right way. Turn your knife this way. So that may seem like a simple task to somebody else, but to me, that was like one of the most important things I brag about. When people say, what's the number one thing you learned in culinary school? How to use a knife.
Yeah.
So
when we come back, we're going to talk more about the manship itself and the great things that are going over there here in the great city of Jackson. We've been doing this series with all these great Jackson chefs. The Manship, one of the best restaurants, not only in the city of Jackson, but in the state of Mississippi. We'll do that when we come back with Chef Rashana Newsom here on Sports Talk Mississippi. Back with you in just a minute.
All right.
From theSeabrook.com. Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports. On your radio and in the game. Super Talk Mississippi.
Tell you I'd be home every night. Breakfast in bed and we'll never fight. Say I'm wrong when I know I'm right. But baby, I'd be lying. Only staying on for a day or two.
We're back here on Sports Talk Mississippi. Brian Hadad, Michael Borkey. We are joined on the Farm Bureau guest line by Chef Rashana Newsom. She is the sous chef over at the Manship over in Jackson, a Jackson institution, a place where the food is awesome, as are the people. And what do you like? Not necessarily about the menu, but what do you like about the Manship as a restaurant?
It's very welcoming. It's home for me. being that I've been there for so long. It's just a place that I know I can always go and express my creativity every time I walk through that door. And when we do our menu changes, we get to shop around from locally sourced vendors and just create these new refreshing dishes that goes, with each season, summer, fall, spring.
So chefs use that word a lot, seasonal. They want things to be seasonal. You talk about changing the menu. Is it a 4-time-a-year thing? Do you change spring, summer, fall, winter? When do you change it?
Actually, we focus more on fall. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we use seasonal is because you will definitely be able to tell the difference in the products that you're using if it's not in season. The flavor won't be there. The textures won't be good. And sometimes, some vegetables just don't grow in certain seasons.
Yeah.
I think the biggest season for me is fall, because you're slowly approaching that cool, nice weather going into the winter. The winter and the fall kind of ties in together. If we do take something off the menu that's not seasonal, it'll be like something small. It won't be a real big change.
Is the country pork chop on the menu all the time? Because I'm looking at the menu right now, and if I was coming to the manship, that's what I'm going to order.
That is on the menu.
All right.
We do it 2 types of ways. We do it for dinner, and we also serve it on the brunch menu.
What's different about it for brunch?
The brunch, you get breakfast potatoes with eggs of your choice and a little apple compote.
I might need to check out brunch as well.
We go through a lot of those pork chops, so I may just need to sit you one to the side, so we're going to sell out.
When you're not at work, what do you cook for yourself? What's your go-to? You get home, you have a day off. What are you making for you?
You really want to know that?
I really want to know that.
Fried chicken wings.
It's my kind of lady.
I know.
We can hang out anytime you want.
That was the only thing that made the soccer game better last night. We had wings where we were, and it was like, hey, at least, we're happy doing something.
I'm very simple. I've been around food so much that I've burned myself out with it. But if I actually do want to get in the kitchen and cook something, it's either soul food or seafood. And mainly it's going to be seafood.
And we can get pretty good seafood around here, too, close enough to the coast and all that stuff.
Yep. I think we source out of New Orleans for the restaurant. So we get
the 2 of us also source out of New Orleans, but
I have been known to source out of New Orleans.
But yeah, when I'm at home, I keep it simple because, for one, if I'm at home, I'm I can't sit still. Whenever I'm off work, I still have to find something to do at home, and I'll forget to eat sometimes. Oh man, I forgot to eat today, and I'll probably go to the grocery store and buy something to make a salad with, and of course a pack of chicken wings, and just go home and just nibble on stuff like that. Believe it or not.
We don't have that problem. He and I don't have that problem of forgetting meals. We don't.
I've remembered too many, if we're being totally honest about that.
You said you like to experiment when you were, especially growing up. You just kind of. Is there something that you stumbled upon completely on your own? No influence from any other chef, no culinary school. You were just messing around and discovered something awesome.
That's a good question. I've never thought about that. Really, to be honest, when it comes to discovering recipes and stuff like that, every recipe is gonna come from somewhere. It's just up to you to try to make it your own. So I don't think there's ever anything that I've just created just from scratch. Mainly what I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading. And I get ideas just from all over the place, and I bring it into one idea. And that's how I come up with a recipe and call it my own.
When we're talking about the menu at the manship, from appetizers and plan me a meal is what I want you to do. I'm going to come in. I'm going to put myself completely in your hands. I want appetizer, I want an entree, and I want dessert. What should I eat?
As far as our menu goes, or something that I could create?
No, just off the menu.
Our number one selling item is our fried green tomatoes topped with crab meat. We go through cases of tomatoes a week. So that's definitely one of the dishes that I recommend you trying. Okay. As far as entree go, my favorite entree would either be, if we do have a fish on the menu, which is our red style fisherman. Our fisherman red. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fisherman style red fish.
Or sometimes we'll do we'll get a special fish in, whether it's snapper, grouper, halibut, or something like that, and we come up with like I was saying, how we get vegetables from locally sourced places. We'll come up with like this nice little vegetable medley and some kind of house-made sauce. So I would always recommend a fish dish.
Okay.
As far as did you say dessert?
Oh, I absolutely said dessert.
So,
we don't have dessert.
Our number one dessert, hands down, is the pecan cobbler with the praline ice cream. Like you can't not come in there and not try the dish.
Okay. Praline ice cream is
it's just butter pecan ice cream.
Okay, so we just so we did that chef thing where we made it sound fancier than it was. I got you. I got you on
like
that.
aioli. Yes.
Yeah,
aioli. I use that term all the time.
I try to tell people it's just mayonnaise, guys.
It's a garlic flavored mayonnaise.
I'm so sorry.
Heavily garlic.
Heavily garlic.
Well, actually, if you want to be technical, it's actually emulsion that you make from scratch.
It's science is happening over there.
Exactly.
I totally know what an emulsion is. So
you
do
know what an emulsion is. You do know what it is. You've learned that much. What's the next few years? Cooking is a lot about trends. What's the next thing that's going to happen in cooking that you could see coming to the manship?
That's a good question. As of right now, we're still pushing to start doing even more locally sourced, locally sourced dishes, and trying to wean ourselves away from ordering from. If this makes sense, we'd rather keep it within the circle. Alabama, Louisiana, we're trying to narrow it down and just start doing more of that, like supporting our local places. So that's where I see it going within the next few years.
That's really exciting. I mean, we run into that with our audience. We know that people in this state are willing to even pay more if they have to, if it means it came from here.
Yep. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more premium cuts of meat and premium products, period. But we want it to come from locally sourced places, and especially if we could keep it all here in the state of Mississippi, that would be even better.
Mm-hmm. And that your location, that area, because I used to live a block down from that block where the brewery is.
Right.
I used to live on the corner of Poplar and I think Olive, right there in Belhaven.
Yeah.
And that neighborhood, that area has dramatically changed, and a lot of really good things are. That's where we go hang out with our kids on the weekend. We go into that area.
Ice cream, the little park. Yeah, they really did make that place. That one little block alone, they made it like wonderful.
How much has that helped you guys?
It brings in a lot of business. Like on the weekend, say for instance, they have something at Fertile Ground, but they don't have like a food truck or anything out there. When they're done out there, they come and flood the restaurant, and that's good for business for us. So
rising tide lifting all boats.
It does help us a lot.
Chef, one last question. We got about 90 seconds here.
Okay.
I've asked it to everybody, and you sort of answered it in this article I read about you. But on your day off, if you're going to go out to eat in Jackson, where do you want to go?
I have different restaurants. I'll go to different restaurants just to get one dish alone. Mm-hmm. If I go to Polito's, I always get a Caesar salad. If I go to Walker's Drive-In, the Redfish Anna is my favorite dish. If I go to Hal and Mal or / the Walk-In, I love the tamale fried rice. So it's different at every restaurant. If I go to Caillou Ramen, it's always a ramen bowl or the edamame. So it's really, I have like my picks and chooses from each restaurant.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Jeff, really appreciate you joining us here today and telling us about the manship and all the cool stuff you're doing there. We'll be seeing you soon, we promise.
I will be there.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Chef Rashana
Thank
Newsom.
you for being here.
Join us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out
right.
favorites.com and go with the home team. Back in just a minute here on Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the Mississippi Sports Talk Mississippi
You know I love sports.
on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad with you. Lucas in Union. We were talking about the United States shortcomings last night. Part of that is personnel. They need a better goalkeeper. Apparently, one's on the way. As I told you last night, I was asking my buddy who worked for USA Soccer. There's two of them, Hadad. But the 20-year-old, he was at Barcelona from age 14 to 18.
It's a good time.
And then I forget where he is now. But anyway, apparently there's two of them that just, as they get older, goalkeeper's fine. Got to find a replacement for Tim Ream. But none of it matters if your supposed best player disappears in big spots on the biggest stage. If it's not going to be him, hopefully somebody like Freeman is able to become that alpha. That's what this team was missing, was a true alpha.
Yes, agree with that.
But in that conversation, Lucas brought up this comparison. Is Pulisic the DJ Lagway of USA Soccer? Obviously super talented, durability issues, folds when the lights are brightest.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
It's not the worst comparison.
It's not the worst comparison. Yeah, that just especially when you consider Lagway, there was so much hype. I'm trying to think of another guy like that. There was just hype, and I'll give you another one, and sort of a Jackson thing. Malik Newman. Remember Malik Newman? We were like, this is the next guy, 5-star guy. He's going to be unbelievable, and then he just had an average career in college and never did anything as a pro. Pulisic, I got to see a little of him. I probably have seen a little bit more of him, maybe even than you have, Borkey, from his years at Chelsea. And I remember when he was at Chelsea, I was like, he could just never grab a starting job and just make it his. They were always trying to replace him, and I guess that was a sign of things to come. He is not an alpha. And that feels like a very trite sports embrace debatey kind of thing to say. But watch the games, I saw a tweet where he's talking about his injury and he's going to get rest, and people are like, "Can you imagine Kobe Bryant ever saying this? The stuff he's saying about afterwards, like, yeah, it's okay, silver linings. I get to get healthy and blah blah blah."
Yeah, and keep the soccer example.
LeBron is somebody that people don't like, but he would never say something like that. He'd be like, "It sucked that we lost. There is no silver lining."
Clint Dempsey took a shin to the nose, broke his nose, blood pouring out of it. Didn't even think about coming out. He's going up for headers. Doesn't matter. My nose is broken. I do not care because I would rather die than come off this field.
Right.
And you didn't see that last night. But the frustrating part about him though, Hadad, like against Mexico in the Gold Cup, he'll be awesome.
Yeah.
He'll be freaking awesome. And it's like, why can't you take this guy? Because Mexico's really good.
Yeah,
why
but
can't you take
Mexico
this guy?
is not Belgium.
They're not.
Mexico, somebody always asks me about that. Mexico is a pretty overrated. They've never really won anything.
But they have the Azteca, and therefore...
They have you know who I compared them to? Texas. It's like...
Ooh.
Like they're just... Everybody thinks that they're this one thing, and they're really not. Even Texas has won a national title, but Mexico hasn't ever won a World Cup. I don't even know that they've played for a World Cup title. Have they ever even made the semifinals? But... people are just so scared of them for whatever reason. Yeah.
Did I watch the John Deere Classic and see the kid choke? He still got paid, though, compared to his Korn Ferry Tour payouts. Well, that's the problem. He's not a kid. He's in his 30s. But, yeah, hey, Dad, the only ball that was hitting the water all day cost Ben Coles the tournament on 18.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
That's, not good there. But, yes, I did watch. I was rooting. Jackson Suber had another good week, and I was watching my hometown guy, Lucas Glover. And he couldn't pull it off either. But Anyway, so yeah, that wraps up a disappointing end. I do love the World Cup. I love this team. I'm excited for the Gold Cup next year because, hey, Dad, I had to make a promise to one 6-year-old. So, first time experience last night, he cried after a sporting event. And, you know, I honestly, I was like, I feel you, buddy. Like, I've been there in your shoes, but, he's 6. It was the first time he got actually into something, and then they disappointed because, I mean, they won the group, and that was awesome, right? And they beat Bosnia, and he watched all of those, so he thinks that this is the greatest team of all time, and then they get beat, and he thought that them losing meant that he will never get to watch them play ever again, that they were done forever is what he thought. So he's crying in the car last night. And I was like, no, buddy, no. They have some games this fall and then a tournament next summer called the Gold Cup, and they win those all the time. And he was like, can we go? And I was like, shoot. Yes, absolutely, we can go. So now I've got to take some I got some kind of vacation I got to take next summer because I made a promise.
I'm just going to let Mr. James know that it won't be the last time he cries because of a sporting event.
Oh, I know.
Got plenty more left to come.
But we got to do the valuable lesson thing, though. He got really excited about something, was disappointed. So he dealt with heartbreak and also like loving your team no matter what and finding a reason to have hope for the future all in one night. Only sports can teach you something like that, I swear.
You're correct.
When we come back, we have a fun top 5 for you. Our top 5 favorite incidents in college football. Not just like our top 5 favorite big play, but incidents in college football. When you hear our list, it'll probably make a little bit more sense to you. We will do that after the news. Sports Talk Mississippi, talking college football when we return.
Let's go. This is your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi here with you on a Tuesday afternoon. It's just Tuesday. It means we're coming off of the weekend. But we're all looking ahead to the weekend because that's just what we do. The eternal grind of life is about those 2 days where you don't have to go to work. Well, unfortunately, on those 2 days, you still have to work. You got to work around your house. You got to work out in your yard. You might as well make that job as easy for yourself as you possibly can. And that's where our friends at Ag Up come in for you, because no matter the size of your yard, they've got an Ag Up mower ready and willing and able to help you out. So if you got a smaller property and you want to get a John Deere zero-turn mower, they can certainly make that happen for you. If you've got a huge tract of land, well, then a John Deere compact tractor might be a little bit more up your alley. Whatever your land, whatever your budget, John Deere and Ag Up have got a machine for you. Stop by your local Ag Up today. There's 15 of them across the state, so they truly are local. Or you can visit agup.com. Ag Up equipment and John Deere, built for what's next. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. It's top 5 time. That's what's up here on Sports Talk Mississippi. So we talked about it yesterday, the top 5 weird incidents in college football. But we did have a caveat that there can't be a fight. Fights happen all the time.
No fights.
No, there's no point in putting a fight in there. That's not a weird thing. It happens. So we'll start with Michael Borkey. Michael, what is your number 5 weird incident of college football?
So I tried to go out of the box with this one a little bit, and it's not necessarily weird. This is just something that makes me laugh every time I see anybody make reference to it. Let's go to 2004 Harvard-Yale. Bitter rivals, Harvard-Yale, playing each other in 2004, and a group of Yale students, about 20 of them, with 2 being the masterminds, dressed up like Harvard students. They called themselves the Pep Squad as they were walking around the stadium. And they handed out those those play cards is what they're called. They're just the big color squares that people use in stadiums all over the country to spell things out, to make colors, honor somebody, whatever. And they handed out 4 sections worth of these play cards to the Harvard side of the stadium. And they told them on our cue, raise the cards up and it spells Go Harvard. Right? Mm-hmm. They give them the cue, they hold the cards up. What does it say? We suck, is what it said. And nobody at all knew that they were holding up 4 sections of the stadium worth of cards that said we suck on them.
I love college football. Come on. That's great
I know
stuff.
that's not weird, but I love that every time I see the picture, so I had to bring that here. That's my number 5.
All right, that's your number 5. You're going to need some audio. Do you have it ready?
So you're ready for this one right now?
My number 5 is this.
And Gradishar. Here they come. Hare, Middleton, and the Buckeyes. Boy, look at Hicks. He's an acting captain today. Hicks is the acting captain, John Hicks. And they're tearing down Michigan's coveted M Club banner. They will meet a dastardly fate here for that. There isn't a Michigan man stadium who wouldn't like to go out and scalp those Buckeyes right now. They have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to tear down the coveted M that Michigan's going to run out from under. But the M men will prevail because they're getting the banner back up again. And here they come, the Maize and Blue, taking away 105,000 fans.
So we have a dastardly fate, we have audacity, and we have unmitigated gall. That is fantastic. Ohio State coming out of the tunnel at the Big House, deciding they're going to run under Michigan's banner and tear it down, and nearly started a fight right out there. Nearly no fight, so it counts. It counts. I went and looked. The next 2 years later when they played at Michigan, Michigan surrounded the banner with a bunch of like former players and stuff, and they were like, they tried to do it again, and the former players were like, absolutely not. You're not getting through this line. So that's my number 5. Ohio State trying to take down Michigan. The coveted M banner.
My number 4. Outstanding audio, by the way. Yes. Homer radio announcers are the absolute best. You just can't beat that. No, like regular CBS TV guy delivers that.
No one's doing that. No.
My number 4, the Manti Te'o fake girlfriend.
That's a good one.
Thing. So you guys know the story by now. Manti Te'o on his way to an invite to the Heisman Trophy ceremony in 2012. Had that really good Notre Dame team up until the very last game of the season anyway. But the big story about him was he is playing through the trauma of his girlfriend dying of leukemia. Mm-hmm. And that was a big part of all of his story. It was referenced in every game. Manti's girlfriend died of leukemia. Look at, he's playing with a heavy heart, etc., etc., etc. Until Deadspin, of all media companies, in January of 2013, breaks the story that his girlfriend, Lene Kekua, was not a real person. She never existed. The pictures that were used were actually of a real woman that had no idea that her pictures were being used as part of this college football story. The Facebook page that was used to contact him initially was made in 2008, so a 4-year talking relationship that Manti Te'o had with a man that changed his voice when they talked on the phone. Now, here's the problem. Manti did say, and he later admitted through embarrassment, that not only they had met, that he was with her while she was battling cancer and before she died. There was an investigation into all of it, and they actually absolved him from being a co-conspirator, if you will. He was just straight up catfished and embarrassed to admit it, in effect. And so that bizarre story out of college football. It was, I couldn't believe it. And Deadspin was better then, but they didn't have the best reputation.
No.
And they were on it, and he had a fake girlfriend in that Heisman Trophy run.
We had our own catfish story here in the state of Mississippi. Thankfully, it was not as
it wasn't that.
It wasn't that. It was weird. It was really weird, but it wasn't that. All right, my number 4. It is the Egg Bowl 2019. It is urination simulation. I was on the field. This happened 10 yards in front of me. I never saw it. There were so many people, everything going on in front of me. I saw it like 30 minutes later at the press conference. Somebody broke out of the phone and was like, watch. I couldn't believe what I had seen. Never mind that what was going through Elijah Moore's head in that moment is incredible. Like Metcalf had done it 2 years earlier in a game that Ole Miss was blowing Mississippi State out. And so the penalty was irrelevant. This was, you're going to back up the game-tying extra point for a shaky kicker.
Yeah.
15 yards. And we all know what happened. And, of course, the butterfly effect of this game. Does Ole Miss move on from Matt Luke? Probably, but it's not locked in stone. What if State
guaranteed it?
That guaranteed it. What if State loses that game? Moorhead's probably out that next day. What does State's coaching search look like? It's just a complete butterfly effect. It changed everything about the world of college football. That one dumb play by Elijah Moore, urination simulation, is my number 4.
That is just a great one. The butterfly effect is the best component of that. My number 3 is jersey theft. Jersey theft gate. And no, I'm not talking about the one that happened in the Egg Bowl this past year, which...
That didn't happen.
As I say all the time, neither side has been transparent enough for us to know for sure what happened, but it would benefit everybody if there was a little bit of like, hey, here it is. But, oh well.
Anyway.
Lane Kiffin wanted to distract away from...
We all know what happened. We all know the truth.
Until proven otherwise, that is the most logical conclusion to come to.
Anyway, what's your number 3?
Jersey theft, but not that one. This one we have to go way back to 2007. You may remember this. Tyrod Taylor, Sean Glennon, Cam Chancellor, and others, Virginia Tech players, had their jerseys stolen the night before they were supposed to play Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. They did not have backup jerseys, which, by the way, equipment guys, why don't you have backup jerseys? They did not have backup jerseys. And so... the Virginia Tech quarterback, Sean Glennon, had to wear a Georgia Tech white uniform in the game that the equipment guys took Sharpies to color over Georgia Tech, write the number 7 for him. They wrote his name in Sharpie, and all the guys that got their jersey stolen, and a handful of players had to wear the other team's jersey colored in Sharpie. They even Sharpied the logo on the jersey and everything. I mean, like you said, peak college football. And, I was 15, so I remember that game vividly. But, yeah, the jersey stealing scandal with Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech is my number 3. I love that image.
We'll get my top 3 and then the rest of Borkey's list when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi with you here on a Tuesday.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on SuperTalk.fm, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and always live on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station.
All right, we're doing our top 5 favorite incidents in college football history. Gotten a few really good ones on the text line. We will get to those as well because I forgot about one in particular, and I'm furious with myself for having forgotten that this happened. And it's got a Mississippi tie as well. But hey, Dad, I've given my number 3. You have not. Your number 3.
It does have a Mississippi tie, but it didn't happen here in the state of Mississippi. But leave it to the Pirate, to Mike Leach.
That's the one.
The Mike Leach fake playbook incident against Texas, where he was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma and basically created a fake play sheet that they left out in full view. Someone from Texas picks it up and goes, oh, my gosh, we've got their script. We're good to go. And then Leach immediately does everything the opposite. in such a way that it screws up Texas. They fall behind 17-0. Now, look, that was a bad Oklahoma team. Texas came back to win. They finally just gave up on the script. They just said, this is obviously not what we think it is, and moved on. Good for them, because otherwise they would have lost 100-0. Only Leach could come up with that. Only Mike Leach could be like, I have an idea. I'm going to create an entire faked play-calling script to throw these guys off the scent, and then I'm going to leave it. I mean, that took some huevos. So, yeah, only Mike Leach could do that.
Yeah, that's the one that I was mad at myself for forgetting, because that's just awesome college football right there. My number 2, it's probably going to be on your list as well. We've already seen references to it. Woody Hayes.
It's my number 2 as well. We'll just go ahead and say it.
December 29th, 1978. He punches Clemson player Charlie Bowman in the throat after a tackle on his sideline, and that ended his unbelievable run at Ohio State. He was the coach there from 51 to 78. Mm-hmm. Think about a coach being at any school for 26 years, 28 years.
We thought
now.
that Saban had been there a long time.
Yeah. 5 national championships, 13 Big Ten championships. Obviously, he's in the College Football Hall of Fame as well, but that being the thing that ends a legend's career. Now, he had a reputation for being a bit of a hothead anyway.
He did. But there's limits to this, you know.
Yeah, but that being the final act of a coach that legendary is shocking. Obviously, it's before our time, really, but that is still a shocking end to a legendary career.
Who is the coach today that is most likely to punch a player?
That's a great question. Sark.
Oh, I wouldn't have gone Sark.
Did you see how he blew up on that security guy?
Yeah. My first thought, I was starting to think of like people who are just like Muschamp. If he was a head coach, is the easy choice.
Yeah.
All right. Lanning.
I can see Lanning doing that.
Lanning's
He's a little
crazy person. Smart. And Smart fits the bill of like this legendary coach who's won national titles, and then one day he's just. Well, I mean, I say that Kirby Smart shoved Michael Van Buren 2 years ago.
Happened.
It actually did happen. He didn't punch him, but he shoved him, and then nothing ever happened to him. So yeah, Smart's the easy answer. Then yeah, never mind. So that's my number. We both share that number 2. What's your number? What's your number 1?
It's affectionately known in the college football sphere as the play.
4th and 17 at their own 13-yard line, and defeats Dairyman in the face, and they saved it. They pulled it out. What a show. All right, here we go with the kickoff. Harmon will probably try to squib it, and he does. Ball comes loose, and the Bears have to get out of bounds. Rogers along the sideline, another one. They're still in deep trouble at midfield. They tried to do a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get it to Rogers. They give it back now to the 30. They're down to the 20. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone. Will it count? The Bears have scored, but the bands are out on the field. There were flags all over the place. Everybody's milling around on the field. The Bears have won. The Bears have won.
We're on the same page. This is my number 1 too.
1982, the big game, Stanford Cal. That was the final play of the game, a squib kick from Stanford. All they had to do was just make a tackle, and you win the game, but a few laterals, and then the band being on the field. I remember College Game Day did a feature on the, I guess it was a trumpet player that got absolutely demolished by the ball carrier in the end zone. It was really funny. But yes, that is, I mean, is there anything better in terms of incidents in college football than the band is out on the field while Cal scores the game-winning touchdown?
That's the thing that will never happen again. It will. It'll never happen again. It'll never, like, a coach could punch a player. A taunting penalty could occur that has, ramifications. You could see a coach try to dupe another coach, right? All of those things could happen again. That one will never happen again. Never, under any circumstance.
No. They have too many protocols now for that to be a thing that happens.
So, there you go.
Good stuff. Really good list.
All right. Let's go through some of the ones. We got some good ones here on the C Spire text line, as you might imagine. We got one here that's number one, the immaculate deflection. I left that off on purpose. I was kind of hoping nobody would bring that one up. But that's fine. Mike Leach leaving the play sheet behind. Elijah Moore's leg hike. The LSU Florida shoe throw. That needs to be. That's an honorable mention for sure. Who throws a shoe? I mean, really.
All you need, I'm sure it's been done, but the guy throwing the shoe, and then it cuts to George Bush dodging the shoe.
Yeah, dodging the shoe. That's all you need. So, and then his number 5 was the cow wandering on the field at Mississippi State.
So, forgive the ignorance.
Yeah.
Did that happen as described? Did a cow truly walk on the field?
It happened in the 40s, man. I don't know.
I know, but like, is that legend, or did a cow actually?
I mean, it's not that far a walk from the vet school where they would have cows from that area to the football stadium. It's not that far.
Yeah,
it's a couple miles.
I guess my question is, like, did he actually go on the field, or was he behind the field goal post?
I have heard
that
he wandered onto the field.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so we'll just.
I love that. I know I'm supposed to hate it. No, that's hilarious that a cow walked onto a football field.
I completely forgot about the Ole Miss Hugh Freeze catfish story. What was that girl's name? Ole Miss saga from 15 to 17 deserves its own incident.
I remember the name, actually.
Annalisa Presley.
Yeah, Hugh Freeze
she was
a great
rebel.
Birthday. Yeah.
She was a great rebel. That was one of those. I'll give a little insight. She came after me and my cousin who runs the Six Pack message board, and I just told him, I was like, absolutely let her try to sue us, because the first thing we're going to do is depose Freeze. We're going to put Freeze on the stand, make him put his hand on the Bible, and we're going to have a bunch of questions for him. I absolutely want that to happen. And so, yeah. She finally,
he would have had the right lawyers that he would have never gotten.
It would have never got.
Down.
But it would have been. He would have been forced to admit this was not a real person. So, let's see here.
Yeah, weird deal.
What about when the Georgia Bulldog bit the Auburn player in the corner of the end zone? That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
We could also throw in Bevo trying to take out Uga at the Cotton Bowl or the Sugar Bowl.
And I thought they drugged that cow up pretty good to make sure that he wouldn't do something like that.
He was live and ready to go.
He was ready to get that dog.
2 people agreeing with Kirby Smart. That's a good one. The Alabama player coming off the sidelines to make a tackle during the Rose Bowl. That would have been my number 6. As Tommy Lewis, I just had too much Bama in me. Saw Dickie Mogul running down the sidelines at the Cotton Bowl and came off the bench to tackle him. That's another one that would never happen again, I don't think. You'd have to go through too many people. The get-back coach would get you at some point. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, somebody with a vote for Mario Cristobal. Some votes for Shane Beamer as well. Orgeron. Signetti would never do it. Signetti's way too in control. He would never do that. So that would never happen. Orgeron, I could see him doing it. The Rutgers coach, Schiano would punch a player? I don't know.
Cristobal's a good pick. I forgot about him.
Sumrall.
He's got a little psycho in him.
He's a little psycho. I agree with that. State couldn't score against a strong wind. The Egg Bowl. That's definitely one for sure. Somebody mentions a fight. We're not doing fights.
Yeah, no fights. Number 1 would be Snowball, State versus A&M. Me and my brother and brother-in-law threw snowballs down from the upper deck onto the A&M band below us. Hey, at least you don't throw something else like what happens at Tiger Stadium from time to time. Know somebody that was in the South Carolina band that got hit with something besides snowballs during the game there. What a lovely place.
It's happened.
It has happened, but he said finally got caught. Brother got kicked out of the stadium, snuck back in, got caught again, thrown out again, promised he would go to jail if he snuck back in again. Snuck back in again and saw us win, he says. Got into an argument with a girl and her boyfriend saying we got their hand-me-down Jackie Sherrill. We thanked her for the hand-me-down while we pelted him with snowballs. Hotel was 1 mile from the stadium. How do you get pulled out of the interstate ditch 3 times before we finally made it to the room? I'll never forget it. So much more to this night. I don't have room to share. Love that. Love that. Weather fits into this category if a field goal gets blown back and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, for sure.
We'll keep going because why not? This is fun. Sports Talk Mississippi. on this Tuesday. From the Pearl River Resort Studio, stick with us.
From thesebro.com.
You can be a part of Sports Talk Mississippi. 888-808-8637 on Super Talk Mississippi.
A great quote from Mike Leach regarding the fake play call. Says he's watching after the drop has been made, right, where the players dropped it and he's walked away. The player said it took everything he had not to turn around and like see if somebody picked it up. He did his job. So Leach is watching. And the student assistant comes and picks it up, and this is the quote from Leach. The body language was awesome. It was like watching a Muttley cartoon. They gave it a little Muttley snicker and then went up the tunnel. I would pay. Oh my God, I would pay money. I would pay money to hear that story firsthand. That's so great.
Oh man, what didn't they? Weren't they huge underdogs and jumped out to a big lead and then ended up
they were out
smoked,
17-0, and then that's when Texas was like, and apparently, so the way they did it was Leach looked at his actual script and he decided to put plays on there that would counter what he was gonna do. So. Like the second play of the game, the fake script said they were going to run a double reverse pass. So they bring a bunch of pressure, Texas does. So they had a guy just leak out and just threw it over the linebackers, and the guy was wide open for a touchdown. So he countered it. That's the genius. Anybody could have just written the script. He countered it in such a way, he's like, what I actually want to run is going to run into the space they're leaving behind. Apparently he put a bunch of screens on there so they didn't bring any pressure. So Heupel's just sitting in the pocket, just picking them apart because there's no pressure. So, and then at 17-0, the defensive coordinator said, enough, and threw it in the trash and said, we've been had. Let's try to figure this out. If they had won that game, it'd be the most legendary thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
So
somebody says the Sooner Schooner turning over. I don't know if this counts or not. Lee Corso's F-bomb on College Game Day is a legendary moment.
It's so good.
It's good.
It's just a great. It's just great. Yeah, I agree with that.
And then I don't know who the kid was that was doing the picks, but he called the kid a certain word that I don't know. HR has not cleared me to say on the radio.
Yeah, you can't say that word. Yeah. So don't say that.
Did you know the story behind the number 2 pencil, right?
He owns the company.
He's big investor.
He's big investor. It's Ticonderoga, isn't it? I think so.
So
yeah.
it's guerrilla marketing.
Yeah,
it's just
you don't realize what's happening until it happens. Yeah.
Joe Burrow getting pantsed in the end zone against State. Somebody says.
I've seen that. Sometimes pants come down.
The mustard on the field. Yeah, I'm surprised Tennessee's throwing everything, golf ball included, on the field at Lane Kiffin did not get brought up.
Did we have? Let me look at my thing here. The reason that's not on mine is it's not crowd-related stuff happens as well. Stuff gets thrown on the field. Like, yeah, that's an extreme example, but I wanted to go like even deeper.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Harvey Updike poisoning the trees.
That's a great calling in the Feinbaum show.
The problem is, again, like that's not something that happened on the field. I wanted an on-the-field incident. But that is one of the things. Like, it's crazy that something like that makes me think of how great college football is. Does that make sense? Like,
it makes perfect sense.
Because it's like, that's a terrible thing.
He did an awful thing.
It's happened because of college football. That's how diehard this guy was. I mean,
and the only reason why he get caught is because he couldn't help calling that stupid radio show.
If he had just been like, this is just going to be my little private legacy, I'll give you an example. And it's fixed now. But years ago, we used to tailgate right in front of the Chapel of Memories, right? So we were trying to get our DirecTV set up, and we could not get the thing positioned. This is back when you actually had to have the satellite. We could not get it positioned the way we wanted to. We called DirecTV, and they sent out a guy. He drilled 3 holes in the concrete right in front of the chapel for us. Like, if you line it up here, you'll be good. We lined it up there. We tailgated there for another 5 or 6 years, and we always had the holes. Well, then we stopped tailgating. They changed the parking rules. That's where the coaches got to park, and we couldn't park there anymore, so we had to move. But it was only like in the last 2 or 3 years that those holes weren't there. So, like, I always had my little spot on campus. Like, that's my legacy. That's very few people knew about that, but now the holes are gone. But I'll never forget that guy broke out a drill. It's like, are we really going to do this?
Heck yeah.
You know what? That satellite TV was crystal clear, baby. Go watch every game.
Tyler says it's an old one, but have you heard of the Georgia Tech Auburn train incident? Apparently back in the late 1800s, when teams traveled by train, mostly Auburn fans, the morning of game day, greased the tracks for yards. When Tech's train tried to stop, it slid 5 miles past the station. They had to grab their equipment and hike 5 miles on foot back to the stadium and play.
I love that. That's fantastic. You know the one about, there's an Egg Bowl one where the Ole Miss coach spiked his own team's coffee with whiskey. And so, yeah.
I feel like that would have adverse effects.
It did. State won the game, and then after the game, the coach was quoted as saying, they're headed back to Oxford. I'm taking a train the other way. I hope I never see him again. Just he quit. Called it a day.
That reminds me, we didn't bring up England's unorthodox way to deal with the altitude in their game at the Azteca.
I don't know what they did. What did they do?
I got to keep it PG.
All right.
They took a particular pill for men.
Oh, a little blue pill?
Apparently, that helps.
That helps with altitude.
With altitude.
I've heard that it will raise things up, yes.
Apparently it worked because they won. Things
will peak.
Yeah, they saw the broadcast. They're like, we can only say so much.
We only say so much, yeah. I didn't know that. All right, that's interesting.
Oh, man, yeah. The Ole Miss Squirrels scoring a touchdown. We have had a good bit of animals on the field, though.
Yeah. Kiffin would hire someone to punch a player. he would. Somebody else said
getting him back on Vanity Fair.
Somebody else said that earlier on the text line. They're like, if he could get a Vanity Fair spread, he'd punch a player for sure. 1987 Ole Miss versus LSU in Jackson. Thousands of people on Halloween night. Thousands of people dressed in Halloween costume. But the best was an LSU girl dressed as an angel carrying a sign that said, "Go to hell, Ole Miss." There you go. A USM player came off the sidelines to tackle an Ole Miss player in the late 1970s. So it did happen at least one more time. It says Walt. And we're not going to put.
I thought about this one too.
Plays aren't going to happen. Yeah.
But after Boise State beat Oklahoma in 2007.
Yeah.
So forget the Statue of Liberty and the hook and lateral.
Right.
The running back winning the game, going to the sidelines and proposing to his cheerleader girlfriend.
That's a great combo right there.
It's pretty sick.
I hope they're still together.
I think I actually looked that up a few years ago. I thought they were.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Oh,
it's going to hit me like a ton of bricks the second.
When you see it, you're going to be mad. I can't think of it either.
Ian Johnson.
I knew it was Ian.
Ian Johnson.
I could not remember. I wanted to say Fitzsimmons. I was like, that's not correct.
I remember him.
A lot of you guys are throwing plays in. This is not about plays. We're not talking about crazy plays. We're talking about crazy incidents, weird incidents, stuff that's never going to happen or highly, highly unlikely happen again. We really should do a poll on our Twitter feed of which college football coach is most likely to punch a player.
Apparently, they're still married. They have a daughter.
Well, good for them.
And here's an anecdote. He crocheted in his spare time in college. He would make beanies and stuff like that. He was selling them to make a little side money, and the NCAA stepped in and told him he could not.
Fast forward 20 years, and this guy could have had his own line of whatever and made $1 million a year off of it.
He could not sell his own crocheted stuff.
That's funny.
Even to his own teammates. So he ended up just making them for his teammates for free. What an interesting hobby.
Yeah.
Josh must be just joining us. Yes, we do remember when Trinidad's jersey was stolen before the Egg Bowl.
No, we don't. I don't remember that at all.
But
it never happened. I remember people talking about it.
Why has Mississippi State not said it didn't happen? That's the one thing I come back to.
I don't know the answer to that, and I wish I knew the answer to that.
I feel like the truth is in the middle somewhere. It's some kind.
I don't.
It either didn't go down the way.
It's completely made up, and for whatever reason, Mississippi State and Ole Miss just came to of all things, a gentleman's agreement to not make it look worse than it is. I think if Kiffin were still at Ole Miss, State might have pushed back.
But they could have just piled on. They could have kicked the horse when he was down.
I would have. I would have. Dr. Brian Hadad, president of Mississippi State University, would have been the first thing I would have done. Been yeah, right.
So when Lebby sits down with us at Media Days, hey, Coach, have you apologized yet to Lane Kiffin for somebody stealing his quarterback's jersey?
I may ask him off the record.
Yeah.
It's just for my own personal knowledge.
He did take a video of himself. That is a thing that happened too. But how did he know to go in there?
I've always asked that.
How did he know to go in there?
Why was it unlocked?
That could be why Mississippi State hasn't said anything.
I mean,
they don't want to.
Or it's the other side of the coin. Maybe Ole Miss left the thing unlocked to set the whole thing up, which is what I believe.
Then why hasn't State said anything?
I don't know that. That's the one I don't understand.
Hey, Dad, we should do a true crime investigates. Borkey and Hadad find out.
Well, I have a friend that does a true crime podcast there in the capital city. Maybe I should put her to work.
That would be a really funny thing to, and make it all serious too. Like black out people's faces and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind that idea.
We'll be back. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio.
Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
The text we got reminded me of something. Said nephew in school at Ole Miss back in 2021 got kicked out pregame of the LSU game because he caught a warm-up field goal and tossed it out of the stadium. After the cop escorted him out, he called me, and I just happened to be walking that way, slipped in our gate, and sat with us in our section. Now, that used to be a thing at Ole Miss games and games all over, but I know at Ole Miss games, the other team, if it was an extra point or a field goal, that would get around the net, miss the net, or if there wasn't a net at all, the students would catch it, and they would throw it up and up and up and out of the stadium.
Throw it out of the stadium, yeah.
And they're not allowed to do that anymore. Why not? You have $200 million athletic budgets. It's okay if one football gets thrown out of the stadium for fun. We don't have to take all of the fun things away. We'll get Kentucky their football back. It's okay. Let the students throw it out of the back of the stadium. It's fine.
I don't have a problem with that thought process.
I mean, we don't have to stop everything,
well, I mean,
Here's
I would go a step further. Be like, just let them keep the football. You don't have to throw it out of the stadium. Football comes in the stands. Somebody kicks it over the net. That's yours. It's just like a foul ball. How many times is that going to happen in a game? Once, maybe. Get a cool souvenir. I don't have a problem with that.
I tend to agree. Somebody said throwing footballs out of the stadium pregame was absolutely electric. Exactly. It was so much fun. And then you'd have the one student that wasn't paying attention that would catch the ball and throw it down and everybody would boo him.
Yeah.
I love those days.
Now, they are gone forever.
As Casey Rocket says, back when men were men,
That's true.
We got to go back to the time when men were men. What else would you bring back if you could? Anything college football related? If you
bring
could,
back
that no longer exists in college football.
Wow.
And I'm not talking about no transfer portal. I mean, that kind of stuff.
That's what you're saying. Well, first thing I would bring back is the old overtime rules. We're getting rid of the stupid 2-point conversion thing. We're just going to play. We're just going to play ball on the 30, and you got to score. If you want to make it where you have to go for 2 after 3 overtimes, that's fine. But we had one time in the history of the world where it went 10 overtimes, which was completely awesome, by the way. And we just completely screwed up the way we decided. Like, as bad as penalty shots are, college football overtime is worse. It is the worst way to determine a winner in anything. So I'll definitely go that. Gosh, there are some days where I'm like, do we really need review? Do we really hate it? Just maybe we should just live with the call on the field. I don't know. What are you thinking? What's something that that we used to have that we don't anymore?
Overtime's a really, really good one.
That's the easy
I would
answer.
restore overtime.
Yeah. This feels like the easy answer. That's true. Arizona State did put State's footballs on a it wasn't a sword, it was a trident. Where did you get a trident from? That was
Rick
Arizona.
Killed a guy.
That was actually Arizona, which was weird. Like, why would Arizona have a trident? That's their opponent, their rivals thing. But that was Arizona.
Do they still have one?
Yeah, they have the turnover trident. I don't know why.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. Bring back the crackback block. Not the safest thing in the world, but I am a fan. I did love to see a good decleating.
Hey, you got to keep your head on a swivel, you know?
What are the two things that every football coach tells you when you first start playing football? Play to the whistle, keep your head on a swivel. You should listen.
You should.
Should listen. Less commercials. Well, good luck with that. We're trying to be realistic here.
Remember when I asked Greg Sankey about that at Media Days, and his answer was basically, we don't care.
And we don't care about y'all.
Hey, Commissioner, the fans are getting a little frustrated with how much downtime is happening in games. Is there, any conversation about possibly fixing that? His response, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there is no 0% chance of that happening. You'll be interviewing that guy in about 14 days. All by your lonesome.
I mean, what do I even start with? There's so much
Greg.
to ask. I mean, it's got. I truly think I need to ask during the Kiffin LSU Florida saga. Did you in the league office step in? And if you didn't, do you wish you had? And not to block him from going somewhere, but to tell him, hey, don't fly your family publicly to these places. How about you move in the shadows like everybody else, you idiot?
I want you to say it like that, too. Literally say.
I don't know. I think he might end the interview right there if I said it like that. But, I mean, I do want to ask him about that.
How often on a weekly basis do you roll your eyes at Lane Kiffin's behavior?
Is he off Twitter because of you? Did you stop that?
Did you make that happen?
But, I mean, I do want to ask.
Do you believe he actually owned a dog?
One of my questions will be about, does the league regret going to 9 conference games? Breakaway. Is that a real conversation that you guys are having?
Mm-hmm. Oh, bring back kickoffs from the 20. That's a good choice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nobody returns kicks anymore. I missed that. Yeah, that's a good choice. Good call. You may have gotten the right answer. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll do the 5 o'clock hour and the college football fix when we come back.
Back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
It doesn't get any better than this.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the games. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
We will be at SEC Media Days in Tampa here in a couple of weeks. We're still 2 weeks away. The Big 12 has already started their Media Days, and Brett Yormark, the commissioner, got peppered with questions from a lot of Texas Tech media, and now, I mean, we're joking about what we'll ask Greg Sankey. We will be as professional with him as you could possibly be. That's not going to be an issue. Some members from the Texas Tech media contingent, just horrible stuff today, and the commissioner didn't come off looking much better, but they made an announcement today, and it might crack you guys up. We're going to tell you about it for the college football fix.
The college football fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. It's the best-selling truck in America, the Ford F-150. Don't waste your time, folks. It's too precious. It's too valuable. You need a new truck? There's only one place to go. Your Mississippi Ford dealers. Today! Thank you for your attention to this matter.
The Big 12 is no longer called the Big 12. Borkey, what are you talking about? They changed their name? Not really. They still have the Big 12 in their name, but they have sold the naming rights to the conference and a whole lot more. Reading from our buddy Ben Portnoy at Sports Business Journal, the Big 12 announced today that they have a multi-year deal with Monster Energy Drink. Yes, the big green M, scratch M thing. For about $20 million a year, the company will be their, quote, entitlement partner of Big 12 football, men's and women's basketball regular seasons, and more. So the Big 12 is now sponsored by Monster. So it will be the Monster Energy Big 12 football. The Monster Energy Big 12 basketball.
Just say it out loud one more time. That's incredible.
The Monster Energy Big 12 football.
Oh, my gosh.
That is what it is now.
There was a week of college football, like maybe a couple of years ago, where it was like avocados from Mexico kickoff week or something. Or like week. I don't remember what it was, but it's like I couldn't stop saying that over and over. My wife got mad at me. She's just like, it's like, I'm just really enjoying avocados from Mexico week.
Avocados from Mexico.
So there you go.
Also, so not just they didn't just sell the naming rights to their football, which is just hysterical, but they have sold jersey patches for football, men's and women's basketball, and co-branded field and court logos that will appear on playing surfaces. That means every jersey for football and men's and women's basketball will have a Monster patch on them. And now the schools can sell another patch if they want to. They can go full on NASCAR if they'd like, but it can't be a drink. Yeah. So you cannot sell Red Bull and have Monster on the jerseys. But call me crazy. Yeah. At $20 million a year, which will be over $1 million per school per year.
Yeah, but
that seems low.
Dude, that is way low. $1 million a year to be on a situation, get a marketing spot like that
on every jersey, football, men's and women's basketball, and the field and the courts.
That's ridiculous. Ridiculously low.
It's crazy low.
$1 million a year. I mean,
I think Ole Miss's Aflac deal for the one-off was like $250K.
Yeah, that's a ridiculously low number. They got hosed. That's a shockingly low number.
It's a shockingly low number. I mean, thanks for the $1 million.
I just said that.
Yeah, I know. I like, but
that's why I call him Jimmy 2 times, because he said everything 2 times.
That is absolutely insane.
I mean, we're talking about these guys are going to be on national Monster Energy Drink. Mike Wazowski is going to be on. They're going to be right there, prominently placed on every Big 12 college football game, which are watched by millions of people. Like, how much would a regular ad cost Monster Energy to have for the college football, to have Big 12 football? Probably 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million dollars. They got this. They're getting this for every game. Every game these teams play. So 12 games times 16, was it 16 teams? 14 teams?
They have 16, I believe.
16 teams? I mean, that's an unbelievable. Plus, that's not to count the championship game, any college football playoff games, any bowl games. They're all going to have this. They got pennies on the dollar here.
Yeah.
Whoever negotiated this deal for the Big 12 should be fired.
Yeah, somebody says that's the cost of a commercial.
Yeah, of one commercial.
On SuperTalk. I'm kidding. Yeah. We charge. That's how Hadad gets the big bucks. We charge $1 million per commercial.
Monster. Let me tell you something. I got a deal for you. I'll get you much better branding and everything else. I promise. I'll drink Monsters live on the air every day. Now, my cardiologist won't like that, but I'll do anything to make a spare dollar there.
I will give you a discount on the $1 million. Just email me, Borkey at supertalk.fm.
Yeah.
We'll start at media days for less than $1 million. And
I just
we'll
like
go
the
from
idea
there.
of you being, Monster suits you a little bit better. I got to be honest.
I don't like energy drinks.
We're just going to get your hair gelled up a little bit. And your new name is
some
Kyle.
skinny jeans.
Your new name is Kyle. You're now Kyle Borkey. But they are the presenting sponsor of the Rebel Report. What's up, brah? It's Kyle Borkey here. We got another Rebel Report. You won't believe what Pete Golden did. What a cool guy.
Which one fits if the SEC were to do a blanket deal? What's one that you would actually forget the dollar amount? Just the sponsor. What would you approve?
The correct answer probably can't advertise as Zen. Zen is the correct answer. Waffle House,
Buc-ee's
would be. Can you imagine if everybody had the beaver?
Oh, that'd be so sick.
I mean, unbelievable. Waffle House would be one, just to have Waffle House on there. Zen would be a great one.
They got y'all to say Monster 25 times on the radio. Elite marketing. I mean,
you're not wrong.
The Monster marketing guy, I mean, he's probably just having a bourbon in his office right now.
He's like, I absolutely hose those guys.
Fleeced the Big 12 here. Brett Yormark also said that media days, the place where all of the media that covers the conference gathers
where there's days of media, yes.
to talk about things that are going on within the conference to the commissioner. Said that was not the time to talk about the Brennan Sorsby situation. That was his answer, as this is not the place, not the time and place for that.
I got to be honest with you, Commissioner. I disagree.
This is exclusively the place
That's
for...
the best time. What are we doing? When else would we talk about it?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Mama Justice. Mama Justice brings you SEC football.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Oh, man. That's wild, though. I mean, I wonder what that value would be for the SEC. Because I know loosely what Ole Miss has been shopping those spaces for.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what Ole Miss is shopping those spaces for, the SEC deal would be like 4 times bigger than the Big 12 deal. Maybe $100 million
that's something
a year.
I'd love to add. They talk about talking to Sankey. I'd love to ask him just off the record, be like, for the same deal, it doesn't. Let's just regardless of the product, how much to do that for the SEC? What would be the number you'd start with? I guarantee what did they say? 20?
20 for the Big 12.
He'd say 100.
100 to $120 million a year.
The starting number might even be higher, but 100 would be a good starting point. Because you got to think about what you're giving to each school, right? $1.25 million is a drop in the bucket.
Yeah,
like $100 million.
Doesn't even
now
pay
we're
the
giving
women's
some guys,
basketball coach anymore.
Yeah, now we're giving people money. $100 million. I mean, honestly, I might look at it and say we need $160 million. We need $10 million per team.
Yeah, to own all of their spaces.
And yes, some schools are less valuable than other schools, but it all balances out in the end.
Yeah, Texas and Vanderbilt. Texas is more valuable, but they equal somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
The closer we get to the season, by the way, the more I'm fascinated by Vanderbilt. They're not the most fascinating team in the SEC. I think Ole Miss is in the conversation for most fascinating, quote-unquote, fascinating team in the league.
Mm.
Vanderbilt's like a tier below, though. LSU, obviously, super fascinating for a lot of reasons. Texas, because Arch's last year. But I think the tier below that would be Vanderbilt. 5-star prodigy quarterback. What are they like without Pavi, et cetera? I think they're going to be interesting. And they're on the schedules here in Mississippi. That's your college football fix. The Big 12 just selling itself to the lowest bidder, it seems.
They sold their soul for Monster Energy.
Which is funny because that is the last thing you want your players drinking every day.
I really would have thought the Big 12 was more of a Four Loko conference, if we're being honest.
Remember, pre-2010 Four Lokos?
I never sampled one, but I know what you're talking about.
It was like the caffeine equivalent of 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
Mixed with
quick shot.
Clear liquor.
Shot of Roundup, Yeah.
It's your college football fix, driven by Ford and your local Mississippi Ford dealer. We'll be back.
From the If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You like this show, huh?
Yeah! Super Talk Mississippi.
One thing Greg Sankey's going to be asked about at Media Days is tampering. I'm going to ask him about it. So if nobody else does, I will in our conversation that we'll get to have with him like we do every year. The NCAA is possibly going to put forward a new tampering regulation. During the meeting last month, the NCAA Board of Directors reviewed a new tampering framework that would permit contactable athletes and their agents to communicate with schools before the portal opens. They're asking for team feedback. Here is the concept. The defined window immediately before a transfer portal window opens. So it would be a legal tampering period, as they call it in pro sports. The board directed the NCAA to seek feedback on the concept. The model will be distributed as part of the materials going out later this summer. A legal tampering period. So you can tamper, but only in this window.
So is it really, they got to come up with a new term.
That's what they call it in the NBA, right? Legal tampering, or no, that's the NFL that has the legal tampering period.
I don't like that. You got to come up with a new term. It doesn't work.
Yeah, you know what that is to me? An admission that it's impossible, it's rampant, and it's impossible to enforce.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing we can do, guys, so we're just going to let you do it. But my follow-up question would be, so you guys can't enforce this window. You think that you're going to be able to enforce this one?
That's a good question.
That's like, that makes no sense to me. I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around what solution they think that this will provide.
Is it one of those things where it's like, look, we know we can't prevent it, but if we do catch you, we will destroy your program? Just be like, look.
But they haven't changed the punishments yet. They got to do that first.
That's the other thing. I guess that's the other thing. It's like, if we catch you outside of this window doing tampering, it's going to be bad. You're not going to be happy with it. So maybe
and everybody's going to do the LeBron James, the who?
I know. I don't know.
But yeah, just more ridiculousness coming out of the NCAA. Chris Lowe put out his top 10 SEC quarterbacks entering the year. Hey, Dad, for the first time, I saw Kamario Taylor in the top 10 of one of these lists. He had Chambliss 1, Manning, Stockton, Mateer, Levitt, Sellers, Reed, Brown. Byron Brown at Auburn, transferred with Galesh from South Florida. And then Kamario Taylor at number 9 entering this season. That is, I think, from one of these lists, the highest that I've seen him that is not like from a clickbait account, but an actual media person putting their name on it.
Yeah. So 9 is where they had Kamario?
9, yes. Okay. Minchie was his 10th.
Ooh.
He's at Kentucky. More on them in a little bit.
Give me the top 10.
Chambliss. Manning. Stockton. Mateer.
Okay.
Levitt.
Oh, ooh. Okay.
Sellers.
All right.
Reed. Brown.
Yeah.
Taylor.
And then Mincy?
And then Kenny Minchie. Or Mincy.
Not Austin Simmons.
Austin Simmons not in his top 10. Austin Simmons has to prove he does not turn over the football with regularity before he makes the top 10, in my opinion.
He's got more than Minchie does, though.
He does.
Goodness. Okay.
But if the more you have is not good, do you belong on a list over an unknown, possibly?
I don't know, man. That's a good question, but that's I was surprised not to hear his name there. It's so funny how quickly things turn. I mean, this time a year ago, you and I were both kind of driving the train for Austin Simmons about and all we had was one drive. We had as small a sample size as we possibly could have had, but we were like, this guy's a star. He's going to lead this team.
Because Kiffin gets the benefit of the doubt.
He got the benefit of the doubt. And, now it's, I don't know what's going to happen for him. So
somebody says if Taylor was at Alabama or Georgia, he would be the next Cam Newton. Another one, I think Simmons has a huge year. He seems like a good dude.
I could see him bouncing back. He needs Hardy to get healthy.
It's harder to get healthy, but I'm concerned at turnovers. You can get better with that, but it's not like he was a true freshman. He had been in that system for a while. He'd been around, and just even in the Citadel game, I know that one wasn't particularly his fault, but turned it over. He had to go in for a few plays in the playoff game against Tulane and turned it over. They did the red zone thing with him at Oklahoma, and one should have been caught. The other one, should have been a turnover. It just did not inspire confidence yet that's not going to be a plague on his game.
That's an absolutely fair 100% thing, the thought process. I always wonder how last year plays out if Simmons is healthy.
They go 8-4, and the Kiffin breakup is smooth and easy, and it doesn't go down the way it did.
It's crazy how it's like it's not better for Ole Miss, but it's better for the SEC.
It would have been better for the SEC. It would have been better for Lane.
Like, honestly, he might not have even coached the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, probably not. No, knowing him, he wouldn't have coached the Egg Bowl.
He might have just gone ahead and said, I'm going to go ahead and go.
I'm out. But then that would have turned into a crap storm, and his reputation would have taken a huge hit.
Maybe so.
But not as bad as it did.
It got worse, yeah. So,
yeah, no, they don't go better than 8-4, I don't think.
Yeah, they lose. They obviously lose to Georgia. They probably lose that Florida game. Florida
lost to Arkansas.
But I don't know. Florida showed up motivated, I think, to show off for Kiffin. I know you've said that in the past. I have trouble buying in the idea. I understand how the Arkansas game went. I watched the game. I get it. That Arkansas team was terrible.
They were.
I think Ole Miss would have found a way to win the game.
But Trinidad was perfect.
I agree. No,
he was perfect.
We're just. I get that. I'm just saying they would have found a way to win. I'm trying to think of their schedule.
South Carolina game was close, although Trinidad didn't play great that night.
He didn't.
Washington State shoulda, coulda, woulda beat them.
That could have been. Oh God, that would have been really interesting. Now we're getting into
Oklahoma. They don't beat Oklahoma.
Does LSU hire Lane Kiffin if he loses to Washington State?
Florida does.
Florida does. And that's totally different.
Or Florida State would have.
Something different, yeah. There's a lot going on there.
I mean, they would have lost to LSU. Yeah, no, he doesn't get the LSU job if Austin Simmons never gets hurt. There's a butterfly effect for you. There's all these what ifs. Like, what if Danny Cannell's dad clears Drew Brees to play?
Yeah.
What if Cam Newton goes to Mississippi State, et cetera, et cetera?
Mm-hmm.
What if Austin Simmons never gets hurt? Lane Kiffin's at Florida or Florida State right now.
There's a lot of butterfly effect.
John Summerall's at Ole Miss right now.
Could be.
I think I would go further than could be. I would guarantee that. I would guarantee it.
If Kiffin's at Florida, yes.
Yeah.
If Kiffin's at Florida State, maybe not.
Maybe not.
I don't think Kiffin would go to Florida State. I understand that he thought about it, but if he had the choice between staying in the SEC and not, he would probably. I don't know. Could be wrong.
What else you have hired him at 8-4? Probably still, and it would have been less dramatic.
Yeah, because he's still at that point. He's still one of the best coaches in college football, and LSU would have spun that as like this is what he was doing at Ole Miss with their resources. Yeah. What's he going to do with us? He's going to be better. It'd been a pretty easy spin.
They did that with Brian Kelly too.
They did, and then it just didn't work out for him and his family, but that's okay.
He's going to be on TV this year, by the way. Brian Kelly, the TV analyst.
Will he change accents depending on what game he's calling? Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, if he's got a Wisconsin game, is he going full cheesehead?
Yeah,
what's he doing?
Yeah, look what happened there. The defense was caught way out of position. That's a tough one. Then he goes down to the West Coast. Dude.
What a great catch, bro.
What a great catch, bro. I mean, he really got up there, bro. Comes back into the South, It goes all over the place. We got Boston College today, Coach. This guy right here, what's he doing?
And then they put him on the call for the Ireland game, and he's got a kilt on, and he's playing bagpipes. And...
Yeah. Hey, to be sure, that's right. If you watch the play right here, you see what happened. The quarterback, he comes out of the pocket, and there you see him. That's a little more Scottish than Irish, but it is
close enough.
I can't really get the Irish thing.
No, that worked out. That worked out well. But Taylor at 9, is that fair? Over, under?
I mean, just don't have. What's funny? Let me ask you this. Let's bring it full circle. Where would you have put Simmons last year, going into the season?
What, we did it ourselves. I had him somewhere
like 6th or 7th,
something
right?
like that.
That was off of one drive.
Yeah,
got a lot more sample size with Kamario Taylor, and it's been
2
pretty,
full games.
It's been pretty good. You see what you see. You see the vision. So I might have him a notch or 2 higher, but would I put him in the top 5? No, I wouldn't do that. But if you told me he was 7th, I wouldn't. I don't think anybody's going to argue too hard against you. So. When we come back, we got 100 teams in 100 days to catch up on. I got to ask Borkey about something though. He said something earlier that has my my radar up. We'll tell you about when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Racking my brain here.
Yeah, you'll hear it. Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey and Hadad here with you on a Tuesday. Back in just a minute.
From the Seabrook.com.
What we're going to do right here is go back.
And now back to the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
So let's get rolling.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Back on Sports Talk Mississippi, Brian Hadad and Michael Borkey here with you. Gentile Apparel is the official apparel provider of Sports Talk Mississippi. Borkey is wearing a hoodie. You're thinking right now, you're like, it's like 90 degrees outside, Borkey. What are you, an idiot? Well, yes, but the hoodie still looks really good on him, and it's nice and cool. It's not heavyweight. It feels good.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
Check it out. And, of course, if I'm wearing a Gentile shirt, it means that if you're a bigger guy, you can fit into one of these as well. Check out the Collegiate Collection at gentileapparel.com. If you're a Bulldog, a Rebel, a Golden Eagle, or a lot of other schools, they've got something for you to wear this fall. Check it out, gentileapparel.com.
All right, what did I say?
No, you got to do the whole thing, and then I'll get to it. Just we're going right now. 100 teams in 100 days.
This day is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This day is bananas.
100 teams in 100 days.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
It's the final countdown.
Team.
Well, let me set it up here. Team number 53 to the SEC, to the wall of the SEC. They're going north to Lexington. We're at Kentucky. Here's what you said. You said this is the first time we've been to the SEC. Is Arkansas not a top 100?
I got to look now. Mississippi State is
coming up
ahead of us.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like,
I don't see Arkansas.
They're not in the top 100.
They're not in the top. No, they are. Wow. Okay.
Did we skip them?
No, where they are makes no sense.
Where are they?
They'll be team number 47.
I'm literally taken aback.
This is ESPN's
right,
Football Power Index.
Whatever, dog.
Arkansas will be 47th. I'm here to tell you, there are more than 46 teams better than Arkansas in college football.
Man, if you're listening, I love you, brother, but no way.
No.
That's right. All right.
Way.
I was wondering. I hate to spoil it, but yeah. So, the Kentucky Wildcats, by all means, implore us with what they are.
Yeah, team number, what did I say, 52 today? Is that the number?
53.
53 is 53. Kentucky. Yeah. And they play at Kroger's Field. Kroger's Field. They're in Lexington. Lexington, one of these sneaky, underrated towns in the SEC. I like Lexington a lot.
That's an underrated atmosphere as well.
Yeah, Kroger's Field.
That can be a tough place to play.
It really can. And they've done a nice job with some renovations thanks to Kroger's. And
All right, enough.
61,000 on the nose, apparently, is the capacity there. And, again, they put a bunch of money into it recently. This is going to blow your mind, by the way. So they did a renovation in 1999 for $12 million. That would be $87 million today.
Yeah, easily.
Crazy stuff. Will Stein enters year one. We'll get to him in a second. Last season did not go great, although they did have a nice little winning streak in there. We thought Mark Stoops was going to save his job. Here's how it went. They beat Toledo to open the season. They lost to Ole Miss in a close game, thanks to a last-second field goal to cover the spread that day for Kentucky, but Austin Simmons got hurt. You know the rest of that story by now from their opponent's perspective. They beat Eastern Michigan, and then losing started. They lost at South Carolina by 22. They lost at Georgia by 21. They go to Texas, they host Texas, and they lose by 3. Arch was horrendous that night.
That was a really bad game for Texas.
And then Tennessee beat them badly. So you knew it was just a matter of time. Just a matter of time before Mark Stoops was getting the axe. But then they started winning. They beat Auburn in Jordan-Hare by a score of 10-3. That Hugh Freeze offense was electric that day. They just couldn't get it done. Close game, though, for the Tigers.
I watched that game. I wish I hadn't.
Then they beat Florida 38-7. Then they beat Tennessee Tech. And so it was, is he going to get fired now? Did he save his job? No, he did not. They went to Vanderbilt and got beat badly. Then they went to Louisville and got beat 41-0. And out goes Mark Stoops. In steps Will Stein. Funny thing about him, he played quarterback at Louisville, Kentucky's biggest rival. That would be like Dak Prescott showing up to Ole Miss to be the head coach here in a few years. That is Will Stein. He was a walk-on, but still. From Louisville, originally, played quarterback at Louisville, and he has had an insanely quick rise to being the head coach at an SEC program. He was a GA for his first college job at Louisville in 2013, a year after he graduated. Then he was the quality control coach for a year in 2014. Then he did the same thing at Texas for 3 years. Then he went to Lake Travis High School to be the offensive coordinator for a couple of years. Then he went to UTSA for 3 years. He gets to Oregon in 2013, was the offensive coordinator for 3 years, and then he becomes the head coach at Kentucky. He went from a GA fresh out of college to head coach in 12 years. That is a fast rise.
Went up quick.
Went up very quick. People really like him. He's a young guy, as you can imagine. He's only 36 years old. Portal went well for them. He's got his quarterback in Minchie.
Went really well for a first-time head coach.
At a place like Kentucky.
At a place like Kentucky, yeah. They obviously put some money into the pot.
He's got financial backing. People do like him. He did good things at Oregon. We'll see what year one does, though. He opens with Youngstown State. You know that mascot.
Penguins.
The Penguins of Youngstown State. And then Alabama in week 2 at Kroger's Field in Lexington. That game, I don't know if there's must-wins in week 2, but Kalen DeBoer better win that game.
You can't screw that up, no, for sure.
And then they go to Kyle Field in week 3. So that is a pretty brutal start for Will Stein's college head coaching career, having Alabama and at A&M.
That's tough.
In your first 3 games.
Welcome to the SEC.
They host South Alabama before going to South Carolina. They host LSU before going to Oklahoma. They host Vanderbilt. They have a late bye, October 24th. They go to Tennessee, host Florida, go to Missouri, and then host Louisville to end the season. That is a tough schedule.
That could be all right. I think if he's a good coach, if he basically what they're hoping for is that he's another Dillingham. Dillingham went to Arizona. He got turned around quick. Arizona State, I should say. They're hoping they've got the same thing here. They got the same lightning in a bottle. We shall see. I'm intrigued by Kentucky this year. I think they're an interesting team, and we'll find out more about them very, very soon. All right,
very quickly.
Obviously, when we go to Kentucky, the first thing we're going to do is get a delicious bourbon because they got plenty of it up there. Where are we getting that bourbon? Well, we're going to a place called the Rack House Tavern. Let's look at their bourbon menu. First off, a lot of craft cocktails, as you might can imagine, and then a lot of bourbon. Borkey. A lot of bourbon. I'm trying
Sounds
to see
like
what
my kind of place.
I'm trying to see what the most expensive one is here. I'm not seeing anything in triple. No, there's a $70 Whistle Pig Straight Rye, 15 years. It's a $70. Where's the Pappy? Did he not make the cut?
You must not have there.
Pappy's not on. I'm not seeing anything that's in the triple digits. So, but Borkey, a ton of options for you as far as the bourbon goes. But they got a lot of good craft beers on tap and some great beers in the can. Then for dinner, any place I can get a sausage board and a charcuterie plate, that's a good start. They also have. I'm not a big cornbread guy, but if you put it in a cast iron skillet and cover it in honey butter, I'll probably eat it. So the appetizer spread looks pretty good. Then for dinner, big pork chop, sounds great. One pot creamy Cajun pasta. I don't know if I should trust Cajun food in Kentucky, but I will.
Lexington, Kentucky.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
with you.
They do have the Kentucky Hot Brown, one of my favorite sandwiches. That's a good one there. And then for dessert, it's pretty simple. 7-layer chocolate cake with strawberry ice cream. That's a $21 dessert. That better be a good piece of cake. They got cheesecake. They got bread pudding. This looks like a really solid restaurant. So, wherever in Lexington, Kentucky, coming back from watching the ponies, want to grab a bourbon and some good food, and you stop by the Rack House Tavern, you tell them that Hadad and Borkey sent you.
Yeah, man.
We're in a penalty shootout in Colombia, Switzerland. Tied at 2. Akanji just missed for Switzerland. Colombia. Oh, he skied it. Goodness gracious. It's not an extra point, Chief.
The kick is good?
It would have been. That would have been good. So, 2 shooters left here. It's a shame, with the Americans going out. I know a lot of our audience will tune out of the World Cup. You missed an unbelievable game. I need to find out why the controversy, though. I don't know the answer to that yet. I was recording my podcast while it was on. But Egypt was up 2-0 in like the 75th minute. Argentina scores 3. Messi, of course, gets one of them, and they win 3-2. But apparently it was a very controversial ending. So, did he save it? Oh, Colombia. About to be going out here.
That's a shame.
So I have no idea, though, what happened with the Egyptian game. So we'll see what happens.
First-time texter of the show says, Kroger's Field. Really, guys, it's Kroger's Field.
That's what the Germans would have you believe.
Your grandma says Kroger's, and she is wrong, but that's what she says. That's the joke, my friend.
Yeah.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back to wrap up the show with you next.
Communication system is a go. Go!
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Exactly.
We're what? 1 month away from the first NFL preseason game. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, that sounds right. When is the Hall of Fame game?
I believe it's 1 month away.
The Hall of Fame game is August 6th. It is literally 1 month away.
That feels good.
That feels fantastic. Who was playing in that game? I just had it up.
I don't have a clue who's playing in the Hall of Fame game, to be honest with you.
Pull up here. Panthers, Cardinals.
Okay, gross, but whatever.
Yeah, don't care.
Football.
We'll watch.
I will watch the first half, and then the second half I'll end up doom scrolling on Instagram Reels or something.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with that.
When all the Uber drivers get in the game, Nothing wrong with driving Uber, by the way, but that is something that NFL players that are on and off practice squads do in the offseason, so I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
1 month away. What are you going to do? I mean, we've got the Palmer home next week.
Well, I mean, we've got these weekends are pretty.
And then media days.
Yeah, Palmer home this coming up weekend. Then we got media days. The week
Palmer
after
home's
that,
next weekend.
Yeah. The week after that, we've got another remote. By the way, we should mention that. By the way, we haven't done that today. The annual Palmer Home Radiothon is coming up July 16th. Borkey and I will be there, but of course the entire Super Talk crew will be there. Richard Cross, Gerard, Rebecca Turner, and then us as we attempt to raise money for our favorite cause, our cause here at Super Talk, the Palmer home and all the great work that they do. So go ahead and get ready to hear from us. We're going to be asking you to help us out one more time. You've done a great job over the years. We've raised a lot of money for these good people. We're going to do it again on July 16th, live at the Palmer home, an all-day radiothon here on Super Talk.
Yeah, a week from Thursday.
Then we have media days. We have a remote after that where we're in Laurel for Little League Baseball.
Nice. Yes, that'll be a fun one.
And then we're in August, and then camp is open. Not fall.
Training camp.
I don't know if we're doing the not fall camp tour again. I haven't heard yet, but I hope we are. Love to get out and see you guys and have some fun with that. But yeah, at that point, camp's there, and we're good to go.
I mean, if we do, we're doing some kind of fall camp tour. You and me are hitting the road. We're going to go to practice. We're going to talk to coaches. We're going to do that stuff. We're going to do it.
Like, we're here.
We're here. Knock on Keith Carter's office door. Hey, Keith, let me in.
You can come talk to us, or we're going to come out here and make stuff up about you.
And his secretary is going to be like, guys, he's not here. Oh, he's here.
Oh, we know that he's here.
He's here. He will be here.
If he's not here and I kick the door in, then who is this? And there's nobody there. Works in the movies.
I am the second they release the renderings, I'm going to reach out and see if we can get Keith on the show, because they are, as I understand it, maybe things have changed. They will put shovel in dirt soon. It's not a fundraising campaign they're releasing. It's a here's what's happening and it's going to happen right now thing. So whenever that happens, I'll reach out to Keith Carter and ask him about that kind of stuff, and that'll be a good time. But. Yeah. Soon it's going to be about football, not about football projects, but about football.
Yeah, we're at the point where we're going to be asking questions about position battles and, teams' health and what are your thoughts of after this and that and the other. So
so the number of actual position battles that Ole Miss has is very few. You got the tackle situation, the three starters at wide receiver, linebackers done.
Yeah, is tight end done?
It has an Odom, depending on.
You got some guys on the defense to figure out.
I think defensive tackle, one of the spot next to Eccles is up in the air, so that's a position battle. Linebacker's done.
Got a punter?
Oh, punter's he's back.
Okay.
The Aussie.
Oh yeah.
I think
so not many.
Defensive backs got like a 4-man rotation, I guess.
Yeah.
So, who starts and who doesn't, I guess, is up in the air, but who's going to play.
Right.
Safety, who's going to play.
Right.
What about for State?
2 receivers alongside Evans, tight end, the whole offensive line. Ain't nothing safe there. Nobody's penciled in there. Defensive line, probably the same. Will Whitson is probably as close to it as you can, but nothing's locked in. Your linebackers are probably pretty close to locked in with Tillman, Jalen Smith, Tyler Lockhart, something along those lines, Amari Williams. One corner I know for sure, you can put him in the most permanent Sharpie you got. You've got Kelly Jones.
Oh, yeah.
The other corner, obviously, and then the safeties, Isaac Smith, pencil him in. But the other 2 safeties, I'm sure, are up for grabs.
Exciting times.
It's almost exciting times. This is not exciting. This weekend is not exciting times. Now, the World Cup's not over for me. I'm still going to watch.
And I'll watch, too.
Yeah.
I'm sad, but I'll watch, too.
Like, a lot of you guys are like, deuces on soccer. I get it. But, we're only 40 days away from the Community Shield. I mean, what are we talking about here? No? Okay.
I don't know what that is.
That is the annual exhibition match between the winner of the Premier League and the winner of the FA Cup. So it's Arsenal versus Manchester City.
Compelling.
It absolutely is.
We'll see you guys tomorrow at 3. Good night.
Oh, it's incredible!
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.